Hi guys, welcome back to Goodbye Greens. Today we are making a Romesco sauce. Now if you've never heard of a Romesco sauce, usually they use bread as kind of a thickener in the sauce. It's maybe, I guess more of like an Italian type of sauce, a lot of Italian ingredients. It is super flavorful. You actually roast some of the ingredients and then you puree it into a sauce with a handful of other fresh ingredients that can be put on chicken, on meat. You can actually probably use it as like a dipping sauce for something. It's great. I mean, you could probably do maybe like an Italian spin on burgers, and instead of using like mustard or something on top of a burger, you can use some of this Romesco sauce. It's really versatile and it's really quick and easy to make. So for your ingredients, these are the items that you're going to be throwing onto the grill. You can also probably roast them in the oven, but I'm going to be throwing them onto the grill. So it's a red bell pepper, we have some Roma tomatoes, a red onion that we'll kind of slice up, and then some garlic. Now those are the ingredients that are going onto the grill. Now for the fresh ingredients, you have some parsley, and then you're going to be using some salt and then some actually red pepper flakes this time, some olive oil, and then you're also going to be adding just a kind of a splash of red wine vinegar. It gives it a nice bright flavor. And then we're actually going to be using, these are some raw almonds that we're going to kind of coarsely chop up and then toast just in a dry pan, a dry saute pan over the stove for a couple minutes. And then once we have all those ingredients ready, they are going to be popped right into the food processor. So let's start. Okay, so we have our toasted almonds in the food processor already. And then these are the vegetables that I just pulled off the grill. We have our roasted red bell pepper, some Roma tomatoes, red onion, and then some garlic. And then this is our fresh parsley that I washed. This is about 1/4 of a cup, maybe a little bit more. But obviously it's going to condense down quite a bit once it goes into the food processor. And then we have all of our other spice ingredients, olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt and pepper. So the first thing we're actually going to do is run the food processor with just the parsley and the almonds. So we can add this in here. The main reason for that is because we want to make sure that we break up the almonds. We don't want the almonds to be in, you know, huge chunks. We want it to kind of break down quite a bit. So you can put this on, and we're going to pulse this about 10 to 12 times. Okay. We can take the lid off, and now we are going to add in all of our vegetables. Now I've allowed these to cool for a minute or two so they're not piping hot, so I can actually touch them. But if you have just pulled yours off the grill, definitely use tongs or some other type of utensil so that you don't burn your fingers. Then we can pick up our tomatoes. Okay, and so it's up to you how much of the onion you want to use, if you want to use all of it or just about 1/2 to 3/4 of it. This also, I'm a huge fan of grilled red onions, either plain or, you know, with a steak or something like that. So let me wipe off my hands. So now we can pulse this again. We want to pulse it again for another 10 to 12 times, then we're going to be adding the rest of our ingredients. So now we can add in our salt, and then some red pepper flakes. Now this is up to you how much you want. I usually do about 1/4 of a teaspoon, but it's definitely just preference on how much you like, what kind of heat level you want. You're going to add some red wine vinegar. And then we're going to start with just 2 tablespoons of the olive oil. We can always add more olive oil if we want. So now we're gonna put the lid back on and just continue to pulse this until we get the desired consistency that we want. Okay, so now at this point, you can kind of stir this around and give it a taste. I definitely want to add a little bit more salt. Just a couple large pinches more. And then there's actually not a ton of heat, so we'll add a few more shakes of the red pepper. Just give it 1 or 2 quick pulses and then it is ready. So this recipe comes together really quickly. Normally when I'm grilling, I will make sure I have some of these ingredients on hand so that I can kind of make this ahead of time. I will kind of, towards the end of my grilling, I'll pop the bell pepper and some tomatoes and onions onto the grill and then just whip this sauce up really quick and store it in the fridge for a couple days. Doing that actually allows all the flavors to come together, and then it's really easy. You can just grill up some chicken or any leftovers that you have, and you can really turn a maybe sort of boring meal of just, you know, plain chicken into a really great meal just by adding this sauce. So I will see you guys next week for another recipe. Have a great Saturday. Bye.